Hey everybody, my name is Miranda and today we're going to be doing yoga poses to open the hips, and we're going to do these poses in a full routine. So we're going to get started right away. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to step to the top of our mat. We're going to stand in mountain pose, take a nice big deep breath, align yourself in your spine, and then we're going to take one more deep breath. And from here, let's go ahead and take a big step back, framing our front foot with our hands. Drop that back knee, drop that back foot, open those hips, really bringing them to the floor. We're taking some deep breaths while we're here. And then when you're ready with a nice inhale, extending those arms up overhead. We're gonna hold this for 5 deep breaths, breathing in through the belly, continuing to extend those hips open into the ground, reaching those arms really high. Couple more breaths here. Focus on breathing, focus on your balance, keep that pose nice and strong. And then what we're gonna do here is bring the hands, frame that foot again, tuck that toe, lift up high, and raise it up towards the sky in high lunge here. So taking it up a notch, really opening those hips, opening them down, focusing on the strength in our core and our leg, bringing those arms up high, keep those shoulders rolled back and down. 90-degree angle with that front leg. Couple more breaths, nice and big. Keep it tight. Focus on opening those hips, really sit deep into that pose. Very good. Let's go ahead and bring our hands down. Drop that back knee again. We're gonna move that foot outside and bring that arm inside. We're gonna drop down to our elbows into the lizard pose. Try to keep that knee in if possible. If you can just reach one side and you're leaning over a little bit, you can go ahead and hug this knee closer. And if you're just right here, that's okay too. Just try to come down as much as you can, really opening that hip up wide. And we're gonna breathe here for 8 deep breaths. So we've been here for a few already. Deepening the opening of the hips now. Really focusing on that. Try to focus on relaxing those hip flexors. You should feel it open up right in here. Nice stress relief. Sit into it a while. Keep everything nice and flat. And we're gonna take one more deep breath. And bring yourself back up. Let's come down to our hands and knees here. Tuck those toes. Swap feet in the front. And we're gonna extend that back knee out into low lunge position here on the opposite side. Go ahead and open those hips down. From here, raising those arms up with a nice big inhale. Pressing those hips deeper into the floor, focusing on opening them. Shoulders are rolled back and down, gaze is up. Core nice and tight. You guys should be feeling really well worked now. Couple more deep breaths here. And with the next exhale, frame that foot with your hands, tuck that toe in the back, and go ahead and lift up, raising up nice and high this time, 90-degree angle with that front knee. Continue to open the hips. Focus on squeezing that core, engaging that leg, holding this nice and tight, breathing in really deep. You guys got this. So keep that hip nice and open. Just gently sink down into it while maintaining nice and strong pose throughout your whole body, flexing those muscles, gazing upwards. And let's go ahead and bring those hands back down. Drop that back knee once again, back foot. Bring both hands to the inside of your ankle. Open that hip down, and we're gonna gently rock into this lizard pose on this side. And it's okay if one side's tighter. This side of mine is definitely a lot tighter. So I might lean over, bring that knee in closer to me again. Gently focus on breathing into those hips, opening it nice and gently. We're going deeper into this pose. You can feel that compression in your bent leg and a nice stretch here in your extended leg. We're gonna hold this for a little bit longer than our lunges. So breathe in deep. Relax the body, try to keep that back nice and flat. Again, trying to bring that knee in close. guys are doing really, really awesome. And we're gonna go ahead and take another deep breath here before pulling those hands up, coming back down to our knees. And let's go ahead and compress here with the child's pose. Feel that compression in your hips. Just gently relax, roll those shoulder blades back and down. And then from here, we're gonna come down into the easy pose. So crossing your legs in the center of your mat. We're gonna take one foot, cross it over, place that bottom of the foot on the ground. Rotate the opposite elbow against the outside of that knee. Bend at the elbow, palm flat. And this back hand is gonna support ourselves as we twist around, looking back as far as possible. Remember, keeping both hips, both glutes on the floor. Exhale as you twist. We're gonna be holding this for about 8 deep breaths. And we're gonna hold it for as comfortably and as relaxed as possible. You shouldn't feel any pinching or sharp pain. If you feel like you need to relax, rotate a little bit, inhale and then exhale and come back into it again, that's totally fine. We just want to focus on sitting in these poses for a little bit, just to focus on really opening up. The more you deepen that pose and maintain that consistent balance of pressure but relaxation, the more efficiency and the maximum benefits you're going to reap out of every single pose that you do. So continue to maintain pressure with the elbow on the outside of the knee. Continue to try to twist a little deeper, but then find relaxation in it as well, breathing deep into the belly and slowly out through the mouth. When you're done with 8 deep breaths, we're gonna go ahead, swap sides, rotate that leg on the other side here, and go ahead and maintain that pressure. You can start a little bit first if you like. Remember, make every routine and pose your own. Listen to your body. I'm just here as a guide, but listen to your body. Don't push it too hard. Push it, but not too much to the point where you're not listening to your body if it's saying, hey, that's too much. And find that balance. Find that balance of having it be challenging for you, but you know it feels good. You know, kind of like a deep tissue massage. Sometimes when they're pressing on you, it feels like it's a little bit uncomfortable, but it feels really good afterwards. That's what these poses are supposed to do for you. So breathe in deep. Enjoy the process. And focus on making sure you have good form so that you're doing everything correctly and not building bad habits as well. After 8 deep breaths on this side, we're gonna go ahead and turn to the side, or if you're already facing the front of your mat, just extend your legs out. I like to kind of press my palms up behind me so that I'm straightening my back, making sure that everything's nice and straight, just kind of putting pressure on that limb. But we're gonna start off first by bending one leg, and we're gonna do the head to knee forward bend. So from here, sit up nice and tall. I really like to start by raising my arms because it pulls that belly out of the torso, and then exhale as I come down, so I focus on bending with good form. But then once I get as far as I can then drop my hands and then drop my head, and we're gonna sit here for 8 deep breaths at least. Actually, we should really sit here for 1 whole minute. So let's go ahead and do 16 deep breaths on this side. Since this is the first time we're stretching our leg, we're gonna hold this and we're gonna really sit in it, and you're gonna see how it's gonna open up. So start by straightening your back. Taking a couple of deep breaths here. And then bring your hands out a little further. You'll see that you can move out just a little bit further. Gets a little stiff there. Try to focus on relaxing your hips, relaxing your glutes, relax those hamstrings, everything, try to relax. Breathe into that leg, sit into that pose, really feel your muscles sort of melt into the ground, melt into the pose. Lift again and pull forward even further. A few more deep breaths here. You can see that as you continue to just move with the stretch and relax everything, you start to sink in a little bit deeper the longer you sit here. And if you need to like flex and pull, so if you need to sit up again for just a sec, adjust yourself and then take a deep breath and then come back into it, that's okay too. Just work with your body. Feel it move. Feel it relax. Couple deep breaths here. Now, if you can, go ahead and extend your forehead down towards your knee. Just dropping it in a neutral position, relaxing it. You'll find that if it's morning, you might be less flexible, and that's completely normal. If you're in the evening, you might find more flexibility. It's not a flexibility contest though, so it's really important to just focus on listening to your body. And when you're done, let's go ahead and gently lift up to the center. Bend that knee, extend the opposite leg out. Feels really good. Whew, it feels nice to me. Go ahead and lift up again. Bring those arms up, pulling that torso out of the hips, and gently bend forward. And this is my stiffer side. So you'll see that the kneecap will pull up because your legs are flexing. You want to play with the idea of relaxing them so the kneecap doesn't pull up. You're not flexing so much. And try to relax, but then, as you pull forward, you might flex a little bit, and then try to breathe into it and relax again. Elongating those muscles, opening those hips. So make sure those hips are nice and square. Sometimes I like to cross over and just kind of reset my sitting just to make sure that I'm going straight into this bend. And when you're ready, you can drop your head towards your knee, just gently relaxing it. Nice deep breaths here. So this is actively stretching. You're feeling that body out, readjusting where the muscles loosen, deepening it if you can throughout the posture. Actively pulling yourself to engage deeper into the pose. That's what's going to increase your flexibility and open everything up more. Just being active about it. Let's go ahead and gently come back up to center. And from here, we're going to extend both feet out. Now we're going to be doing the seated forward bend. So from here, I like to press up again. Really get nice and upright. Sitting into it a little bit more. If you are not very flexible, it's totally okay to put pillows or yoga blocks under your bum so that way you're propped up a little higher, and that's going to help you be able to extend forward a little bit more. So if you're here, that's good. You can also use a towel or a yoga strap to help pull you forward. So from here, I'm going to sit down into my hips a little bit more. When I'm ready, when I feel everything loosen up, I'm going to start to lean forward. I like to grab my shins and pull. Again, using a towel or a yoga strap may be helpful. I like to pull because then I can actively straighten up my back while I'm pulling deeper into the bend. If I'm not pulling, my first inclination is to arch my back and come forward. And now I'm not really stretching those muscles. All I'm doing is arching my back. So we want to focus on opening the hips. We want to focus on increasing that limberness and that flexibility. So you can even bend your knees a little bit and pull forward if you want. Then focus on extending. See? We're going to breathe here for 8 deep breaths, about 30 seconds. We've already been here for a few. So gently pulling forward even more. So this is active stretching, and as you can tell from the very beginning of this routine, it takes a little elbow grease. We're sweating a little bit, and that's a good thing. It's supposed to feel that way. So you're not just tackling opening the hips, you're really increasing your flexibility and your blood flow, as well as your cardiovascular endurance and muscular strength and core. So very, very active stretching here. You can feel free to flex your toes back and you'll feel it'll engage your calf muscles a little bit more, or point your toes. Make it very active. When you're ready from here, we're going to scooch forward a little bit. Place both feet flat on the ground, about shoulder width apart. And from here, we're going to lay back very gently. Whew. That should feel really nice. And we're going to bring those ankles right below our knees. And then we're gonna press up, pushing our hips up towards the sky, pressing those palms firmly into the ground. Make sure those ankles are right below the knees. You can adjust them if you want. Lifting those hips up towards the sky. And then when you're ready, go ahead and clasp your hands underneath your butt and extend them out, pressing up as much as you can. We're gonna hold this for 8 deep breaths. We're pushing open those hips, strengthening the glutes, our core. We're stretching out some of our biceps and shoulders, all at the same time. This is gonna feel really good. So we got a very push and pull routine here, active and passive, which is absolutely perfect. We're almost there. A couple more deep breaths. Continue to squeeze those glutes. Continue to push those hips up, higher even if you can. Feel that burn. Feel that stretch. And I promise you, after this, we're going to have some really nice poses. Nice and relaxing. Push up one more time. One more deep breath. And relax back down. Ooh, very nice. So with that, we've activated the glutes. We've really worked our cardiovascular system. You should feel a little bit of burn in those glutes. So let's go ahead and stretch them out. Crossover. We're going to do this upside down pigeon, otherwise known as the leg cradle. Make sure that leg is perpendicular and lift up, weaving your hands through so that you can pull on that knee. Feel that expansion in the glute and that compression in the hips. Make sure that you got both of your hip bones on the ground and your shoulder blades on the ground as well. So focus on pulling it in, relax those glutes. This is another place you can use that yoga strap or yoga towel if your leg's out here and it's easier to pull on it. That's completely an option too. I like to very actively pull this towards my chest as much as possible. Really stretching out those glutes because that tightness just can get really deep in there. And when your glutes are tight, they are completely connected to your hips. So they just increase that tightness overall. So it's very important to actively stretch out these glutes as well. Breathe in nice and deep. Got 8 deep breaths here. Just a couple more. And let's go ahead and gently bring it down and switch sides. How good does that feel? Feels really good, especially after that long bridge. So actively open that knee up. Your knee is opening, kind of pressing away from your chest while you're pulling this opposite knee or ankle into your chest. You guys are doing good. I hope you feel good. I'm feeling really good right now. I can feel all those happy hormones just come up and I'm starting to relax. Starting to fall asleep. Stay awake with me though. We're almost done. Pull it deeper in. A few more deep breaths. Nicely done, guys. And relax. So now, if you can maintain that foot on the knee, or if you remember, you can use both knees bent. This is a modified version. If you want a deeper stretch, bend that knee up and extend that bottom leg rolling out to the side. We're twisting and we're gonna put those arms out in a nice perpendicular line to our body, palms flat on the ground, twist away, take this front hand, gently place that weight on that knee. Make sure that back shoulder is down and rotate your gaze away from your knee. Feel that compression in the hip, nice twist in the back, opening up everything in the opposite direction that we've been moving throughout this routine, engaging that central nervous system, allowing everything to kind of absorb. Don't forget that if you need to, You can place pillows or blocks under your knee because I really want you to focus on just relaxing into the twist. So you shouldn't feel like you have to hold the weight of your knee up, and if you're having any trouble with that, just stick a pillow under there. It should feel really relaxing. It should feel really good. And after 8 deep breaths, we're going to rotate to the center very gently. Readjust ourselves. I'm going to be adjusting my mic over here. And we're going to go ahead and rotate to the other side now. Looking in the opposite direction. Breathing in nice and deep. You can actively press the palm of your hand into the ground and push that twist deeper if you need to. And again, using this hand, you can place it on top of the outside part of your knee, just for a little bit of weight if you need to. A few more deep breaths here. And then gently come back to the center. From here, what I would really like is if you guys take the time to just lay down, roll those shoulders back and down so the shoulder blades are flat on the ground. Palms up towards the sky, and just relax here for a minute. This is corpse pose, otherwise known as Savasana. And your feet are going to be splayed out, your hands will be splayed out. If you could just relax here for, I would say, at least 20 deep breaths. Focusing on rising that belly as you breathe in and exhaling as you breathe out. If you just end this routine here, you're gonna feel a lot better. You're gonna have a lot more benefit. The body is gonna accept all the work that you've done a lot more efficiently and effectively. So just relax here. You can feel free to stay here as long as you want. Most importantly, just feel really good and really proud of yourself for what you've done. It's not really an easy routine. I mean, the movements are easy, but how long we've been holding it and putting it together, I'm hoping that you're feeling nice and relaxed and that your hips are feeling nice and open. So thank you so much for joining me here, and I will see you guys next time.